Hey gang, Scott Davenport here. So in this video, I'm going to answer a question that I get asked at least once a week, if not more. Why do you use Lightroom? And I think the reason I get this question often is many folks are first introduced to my work through On1. I put a lot of On1 material out. I have a lot of training material on On1, and it's an important part of my workflow. And then you see in other videos I'm using Lightroom, and people get a little confused. And they go, oh, well, what's the deal, Scott? So I'm going to tell you the deal in this video, and this is I got one of two videos. There'll be another video that explains why do I use On1, right? Both are important to me, and they both satisfy different needs that I have for my photography. And I want to preface this entire thing with, that's a very key point. This is satisfying my needs as a photographer. Your needs may be different. In fact, they probably are. So taking a moment to understand what is it that you want out of your photos, both on the asset management side as well as the processing side, that can help you decide the set of tools or a single tool that satisfies what you need. So if you've ever seen any of my workflow posts, this is going back to Apple Aperture. That was my asset manager before Apple stopped making it. That I'm very goal driven. I defined my workflow around what I want to get out of my photos, and both from asset management and processing. So with that, why do I use Lightroom? Well, Lightroom is my asset manager. It has things in it that aren't offered in On1 as an asset management tool. Now, On1's been closing the gap a lot, but there are things that I still rely on that aren't available in other tools. Nested keywords is one of them, and I've adopted using keyword synonyms as a result of how Lightroom implements it. GPS tagging is important to me. I like to tag my photos and match it up with a GPX track log. Stacks. I like to organize using stacks for either bracketed shots or similar shots. The fact that there's a single catalog and all of my photos are indexed, that's a plus to me. I don't like the import process that much. That could be faster in Lightroom. But the fact that I can now search across my entire photo library, and with very detailed searches, that enables the workflow that I have defined going back, close to a decade now. And that's very important to me, being able to slice and dice up and find my photos quickly, leveraging all of the various metadata that I put on my photos or come along for the ride with the EXIF data. So that's some of the asset management side of things. So what about the post-processing side of things? Well, as Lightroom's my asset manager, my post-processing starts in Lightroom. Lightroom's got a whole ton of great tools. It's a very capable post-processor. And I'll also give Lightroom a nod for infrared photography with either camera profiles that you can create or the new ones that have come in some of the updates. I don't have to do any extra special steps in my workflow to work on infrared photos. So, if that's something that's in the mix of your photography, consider that as you're thinking about what do you need? What are your requirements for your photography? Now, thinking ahead with Lightroom, what Adobe's doing in the artificial intelligence space is interesting. The auto button has gotten really good in recent updates of Lightroom, CC, Classic, whatever they're calling the new desktop version. I can never keep the name straight. But that artificial intelligence I expect to only get better. I would love to see that come to other tools, both on the asset management side as well as the processing side of Lightroom. So that's another reason that I am keeping Lightroom in my mix, and it may ease some of the steps that I need to do to meet my own requirements. I'm thinking keywording here right now. I still keyword images, and I'd love for the tool to just say, yeah, this is a bicycle, this has got the ocean in it, and add those things for me accordingly. But all that said and done, back to the processing part of it, Lightroom doesn't have everything. There are things and there are looks that I can't get in Lightroom, and that's when I turn to other tools like On1 Photo. That's my primary go-to after I'm out of Lightroom. Typically I'm going to On1 to finish a photo off and get the type of look that I want. And that's a different video. I'll explain, when do I turn to On1 in something else. But that's it. That's the deal. That's why I'm using Lightroom and why you'll see it and continue to see it on various videos here. It's what satisfies my needs. It's the full package, right? There's asset management and there's processing. There's a lot of things that go into my photography beyond just crafting the photo. And this set of tools addresses those needs. Well, I hope that gives you some insight for those that have asked about, why am I using Lightroom and On One Photo? Why am I not exclusively using one or the other? Go check out the video about why I'm using On One, and you'll see the other half of this story. That's going to do it for this vlog. I hope that's helped. Hope it was, not too much of a ramble. And that's it. Happy shooting. See you next time.